Many people worry about low sex drive, but few understand what is actually normal. Libido, or sexual desire, is an important part of human health, yet it is something many people rarely talk about. When sexual desire changes or decreases, it often affects more than just the body. It can influence how a person feels about themselves, including confidence, self-esteem, and overall well-being. Many people begin to question whether something is wrong, even when changes in desire can be completely normal. Changes in libido can also affect relationships. In close relationships, emotional connection and communication are essential. When one person feels concerned or confused about their sexual desire, they may avoid discussing it with their partner. This silence can lead to misunderstandings, emotional distance, or unnecessary worry, even when the underlying issue is manageable or temporary. Another reason this topic matters is that many people feel uncomfortable asking questions about sexual health. Fear, embarrassment, or misinformation often prevent open discussion. Without accurate information, people may rely on assumptions or internet myths, which can increase anxiety rather than provide clarity. Understanding what is normal, what can change over time, and what factors influence sexual desire is an important first step toward better health. Clear, science-based information helps people feel reassured, make informed decisions, and approach sexual health with confidence rather than fear. Sexual desire, often called libido, is not a fixed or constant state. It naturally changes over time and can vary from person to person, and even from day to day. Many people believe that libido should always remain the same, but this expectation is unrealistic. Fluctuations in sexual desire are a normal part of human biology and life experience. One of the most important factors influencing libido is hormones. Hormones act as chemical messengers in the body and play a central role in regulating sexual desire. Testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone all contribute to libido in different ways. While testosterone is often associated with male sexual desire, it is also important for women. Changes in hormone levels can occur due to aging, health conditions, medications, or natural life stages. Even small hormonal shifts can affect energy levels, mood, and interest in sexual activity. Stress is another major factor that affects libido. When the body is under stress, it prioritizes survival over reproduction. Stress hormones such as cortisol can interfere with the production and function of sex hormones. As a result, sexual desire may decrease during periods of chronic stress. Work pressure, financial concerns, relationship difficulties, and emotional strain all contribute to this effect. Stress also affects mental focus, making it harder to relax and feel connected to physical sensations or emotional intimacy. Sleep plays a critical but often overlooked role in sexual health. Quality sleep is essential for hormone regulation, energy restoration, and emotional balance. During deep sleep, the body produces and regulates many hormones, including those related to sexual function. Poor sleep or chronic sleep deprivation can lower testosterone levels, increase stress hormones, and reduce overall motivation and mood. Over time, lack of sleep can significantly impact sexual desire and performance. Age is another natural factor that influences libido. As people grow older, hormonal levels gradually change, and the body's response to stimulation may shift. This does not mean that sexual desire disappears with age. Instead, desire may become less spontaneous and more responsive to emotional connection, comfort, and context. Many people remain sexually active and satisfied well into later life, but the way desire is experienced may evolve. It is also important to understand that libido is influenced by a combination of physical, psychological, and social factors. Mental health, self-image, relationship quality, and life satisfaction all play a role. A decrease in libido does not automatically indicate a medical problem. In many cases, it reflects temporary life circumstances or natural changes rather than a serious health issue. Understanding these factors helps reduce unnecessary fear and self-blame. When people recognize that libido is dynamic and influenced by many aspects of health and lifestyle, they are better equipped to respond with patience and awareness. Education allows individuals to focus on overall well-being rather than chasing unrealistic expectations. Sexual health is not about perfection or constant desire, but about balance, understanding, and adapting to the body's natural rhythms. When it comes to sexual health, misinformation is very common. Many people grow up with unrealistic expectations about sexual desire, often shaped by media, social pressure, or incomplete education. As a result, myths about libido can create unnecessary fear, shame, and confusion. Let's address 3 of the most common misconceptions and explain why they are misleading. One of the most widespread beliefs is that low sexual desire automatically means something is wrong. In reality, libido varies widely between individuals and across different stages of life. There is no single normal level of sexual desire that applies to everyone. Sexual desire is influenced by many factors, including physical health, emotional well-being, lifestyle, and personal circumstances. A temporary decrease in libido may simply reflect fatigue, stress, illness, or changes in routine. It does not necessarily indicate a medical condition or dysfunction. Another important point is that people experience desire differently. Some individuals naturally have a lower baseline libido and still live healthy, fulfilling lives. Others experience strong fluctuations depending on mood, environment, or relationship dynamics. Comparing oneself to others or to unrealistic standards can lead to unnecessary anxiety. Labeling low desire as a problem can actually make things worse. Worry and self-judgment often increase stress, which further suppresses libido. Instead of asking, "What is wrong with me?" a more helpful question is, "What factors might be influencing my desire right now?" This shift in perspective encourages understanding rather than fear. Another common myth is that sexual desire disappears with age. While it is true that the body changes over time, aging does not mean the end of sexual interest or intimacy. This belief is not supported by science or real-life experience. As people age, hormonal levels gradually shift. These changes may affect how desire is experienced, but they do not eliminate it. For many adults, desire becomes less spontaneous and more responsive. Emotional connection, comfort, and trust often play a larger role than physical urgency. Older adults frequently report satisfaction with their sexual lives, even if frequency or expression changes. In fact, experience and self-awareness can enhance intimacy and communication. The idea that sexuality belongs only to youth ignores the reality that desire evolves rather than disappears. Believing that age automatically removes sexual desire can be harmful. It may prevent people from seeking information, communicating with partners, or addressing treatable health factors. Sexual health is a lifelong aspect of well-being, not something that expires at a certain age. Many people underestimate the impact of stress on sexual desire. Some believe that libido should function independently of daily pressures, but this is not how the body works. Stress activates the body's survival systems. When stress is present, the body prioritizes essential functions like alertness and energy conservation. Sexual desire becomes less important from a biological perspective. Hormones such as cortisol increase, while sex hormones may decrease or become less effective. Chronic stress can also affect sleep, mood, concentration, and emotional availability. All of these factors influence sexual desire. When the mind is occupied with worry or tension, it becomes difficult to relax, feel present, or connect emotionally with a partner. Ignoring the role of stress can lead people to blame themselves unnecessarily. They may search for quick fixes instead of addressing the underlying issue. Recognizing stress as a legitimate and powerful influence allows for more realistic expectations and healthier coping strategies. These myths continue because sexual health is often discussed in oversimplified ways. Media portrayals rarely show realistic patterns of desire. Conversations about sexual health are sometimes avoided, leading people to rely on assumptions rather than accurate information. Cultural expectations also play a role. Many societies equate sexual desire with youth, performance, or identity. When reality does not match these expectations, people may feel isolated or inadequate. Education helps replace myths with understanding. When people learn that libido is flexible, responsive, and influenced by many factors, fear is reduced. Knowledge provides reassurance and encourages healthier conversations. Sexual desire is not a performance measure or a constant indicator of health. It is a dynamic experience shaped by the body, the mind, and life circumstances. Changes in libido are common and often temporary. Instead of viewing desire as something that must meet a certain standard, it is more helpful to see it as a signal. It reflects overall well-being, stress levels, emotional connection, and physical health. Paying attention to these factors offers more insight than focusing on desire alone. Understanding and letting go of these myths allows people to approach sexual health with curiosity rather than fear. It opens the door to better communication, self-acceptance, and long-term well-being. When sexual desire changes, many people immediately look for quick solutions. However, improving libido usually starts with supporting overall health rather than focusing on desire alone. The body and mind are closely connected, and small, consistent lifestyle adjustments often make a meaningful difference over time. 4 areas deserve special attention: sleep, stress management, physical activity, and communication. Sleep is one of the most important yet overlooked factors affecting sexual desire. During quality sleep, the body regulates hormones, repairs tissues, and restores energy. Many hormones linked to sexual function are produced or balanced during deep sleep. When sleep is poor or inconsistent, these processes are disrupted. Lack of sleep increases stress hormones such as cortisol while lowering hormones related to sexual desire. It also reduces motivation, focus, and emotional availability. Over time, chronic sleep deprivation can make libido feel distant or unpredictable. Improving sleep does not require perfection. Simple steps can have a strong impact. Going to bed and waking up at consistent times helps regulate the body's internal clock. Limiting screen use before bed, reducing caffeine later in the day, and creating a calm nighttime routine can improve sleep quality. Even small improvements in sleep often lead to noticeable changes in energy, mood, and interest in intimacy. Stress is one of the strongest inhibitors of sexual desire. When the mind is overwhelmed, the body shifts into a protective mode. Sexual interest becomes less of a priority as the nervous system focuses on perceived threats or responsibilities. Managing stress does not mean eliminating it completely, which is unrealistic. Instead, the goal is to reduce chronic stress and improve recovery. Awareness is the first step. Recognizing how stress shows up in the body allows people to respond rather than ignore it. Practical stress management techniques include breathing exercises, short daily walks, mindfulness practices, and regular breaks from work or screens. Even a few minutes of calm breathing can signal the nervous system to relax. Over time, these practices reduce baseline stress levels and support hormonal balance. Emotional stress is just as important as physical stress. Unresolved worries, pressure to perform, or fear of expectations can quietly suppress desire. Creating space to acknowledge these feelings, without judgment, can reduce their impact. Sexual health improves when the nervous system feels safe rather than rushed or pressured. Physical activity plays a vital role in maintaining sexual health. Regular movement improves circulation, supports hormone regulation, and increases overall energy levels. Exercise also helps manage stress and improve sleep quality, creating a positive cycle. The goal is not extreme training or perfection. In fact, excessive or intense exercise without recovery can have the opposite effect. Balanced, consistent movement is most beneficial. Activities such as walking, strength training, stretching, or light cardio all contribute to better health. Strength training, in particular, supports hormonal balance and muscle health. It can improve confidence and body awareness, which indirectly influence sexual desire. Cardiovascular exercise supports blood flow, which is essential for sexual function. The most effective approach is choosing activities that feel sustainable and enjoyable. Regular movement builds trust in the body rather than creating pressure. Over time, physical activity helps restore energy, resilience, and a natural sense of vitality. Communication is one of the most powerful tools for improving sexual well-being, yet it is often the most difficult. Many people avoid discussing changes in desire because of fear, embarrassment, or concern about disappointing a partner. However, silence can increase tension and misunderstanding. Open, respectful communication creates emotional safety. It allows both partners to understand what is happening without blame. Desire is not just a physical response, it is influenced by emotional connection, trust, and feeling understood. Healthy communication does not require perfect words. It starts with honesty and curiosity. Expressing feelings such as fatigue, stress, or confusion can reduce pressure on both sides. Conversations about intimacy do not need to focus on solutions immediately. Sometimes, being heard is enough to restore closeness. It is also helpful to separate desire from performance. Sexual connection can take many forms, and intimacy does not always require the same expression. When couples communicate openly, they can adapt together rather than assuming something is wrong. Improving sexual desire is rarely about a single change. It is usually the result of supporting the body and mind as a whole. Sleep provides the foundation, stress management removes barriers, physical activity restores energy, and communication strengthens emotional connection. These steps are not quick fixes, but they are effective. They reduce pressure and create conditions in which desire can return naturally. Most importantly, they shift the focus from fear to care. Sexual health is not about meeting expectations or comparing oneself to others. It is about understanding the body, responding to its needs, and allowing space for change. When people approach libido with patience and self-compassion, improvement often follows. Understanding your body is the first step toward better health. Sexual desire is not something that should be judged or compared to others. It is a natural part of human biology that changes over time and responds to many factors, including stress, sleep, emotional well-being, and lifestyle. When people learn how these factors influence desire, fear and confusion are often replaced with clarity and confidence. Changes in libido do not define your worth, your relationships, or your health as a whole. They are signals, not failures. Paying attention to those signals allows you to respond with care rather than pressure. Education gives you the tools to make informed decisions and to approach sexual health with patience and understanding. If this topic feels personal or unfamiliar, you are not alone. Many people have the same questions but rarely hear clear, respectful explanations. That is why open, science-based education matters. It creates space for learning, reassurance, and healthier conversations. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing to the channel. Here, we focus on clear, science-based health education designed to help you better understand your body and well-being. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to exploring more important health topics together.